here.
I got everybody but Charles right now.
I'm here.
I got everyone.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Talk CFL podcast, episode number 647. I'm your host, Christopher Jones, coming to you from the Fraser Valley of British Columbia. Hey, it's beautiful weather down here. So what are we doing? We're going to talk football. And what is it? Training camp starts tomorrow. I know Mike says it's on the 12th, 10th, sorry, but it's really starting tomorrow because that's the rookie camp, and that's what we're going to do. So it's happening. We're on the brink of football season. So that's an absolutely amazing thing. We've waited 6 months for this, and it's finally here. We've made it, guys. Congratulations, all of you guys made it through without jumping off the bridge. And some of the bridges around here, there's like 2 or 3 of them at the same place. Never mind. I'm not even going to try to explain this Stella Wasson Bridge. Okay. What are we going to do? Let's introduce the panel because we can do that. I got the S and the W down at the bottom here, but I got Charles Cliff. How you doing, buddy? Abbotsford, British Columbia, BC Lions fan. Welcome to the show, my friend.
I'm good in the lovely weather, and we're almost at training camp. Well, I mean, rookie camp starts tomorrow, and then main camp starts on Sunday. So they're going to be on the field, and we're going to be playing games here before you know it. So exciting time of year.
It's actually preseason starts on the 18th.
A week from Monday.
This is, yeah. No, is it? Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is the 5th today. Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
Tequila. Okay. Over to our American friend, Michael Dennis. How you doing, buddy? Portland, Oregon.
Well, this American is extremely happy that training camp is almost here because I need to get my Edmonton Elks fixed. I'm excited. It's going to be a good season.
Oh, it's going to be a great season. I'm just not sure it's a great season for the Elks, but hey, who knows, right? We are going to have to do some projections pretty quick. So I don't know whether we're going to do that today or not, but whatever. Okay. Next up, Calgary, Alberta, Stampeder fan, William MacDonald. How you doing, buddy?
I am good. I'm here. I'm waiting for training camp. I'm waiting for the first preseason game, which I cannot go to because I am working that day. But oh well, it's only a preseason game, and it's only Saskatchewan. So, but
who gives a shit?
Well, I do.
Can't you call in sick?
No, I don't do that, Mike.
Oh. Speaking of Saskatchewan.
Okay.
Scott Morledge, Regina, Saskatchewan. Welcome to the show, green guy.
How's it going? Doing good over here. Looking forward to training camp, which is kind of funny because we were just snowing yesterday and at 0 degrees from 26 the other day. So, but yeah, no, we're setting it up and it's going to be fun.
So it snowed yesterday, and we're going to start training camp next year, 2 weeks sooner. Charles, do you remember in 2011, the training camp in Abbotsford for the BC Lions? What happened?
Sure. It rained virtually every single day.
Yeah, they had to put their training camp indoors. It was a disaster. They started the season 0-5. It took them half the season to get their shit together, and then they went on a roll and won 13 of the next 15 games, and including the Grey Cup.
Something like that, yeah.
So, yep. But training camp was a disaster, and because of that, the beginning of the season was a disaster. And if they were not the best team in the league, they would have never recovered from that.
True.
So exactly why are we doing this?
Well, it's because I don't know why we're moving the season forward by 2 weeks, or actually only a week. But then we're adding an extra week of playoffs in there, so that it actually moves to 2 weeks ahead, and moves the Grey Cup game up. What's that?
Alberta's been known to get snow in June. So is Regina. I mean, yeah.
I had snow this morning.
Yeah, I mean,
a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit a heightened. A little bit
isn't a bad thing.
But the thing is, I mean, I'd rather have snow and crap weather during training camp than later in the season when actual games are being played.
No, I'd rather
Nope.
have it at the very end of the season.
Very end of the season, because teams can adjust and prepare for it. You cannot prepare for a bad training camp. You can't. There's no way around a bad training camp.
And you don't want to risk the players getting injured in training camp if there's snow on the field.
Regina got 50 centimeters like a week and a half ago. Calgary got 40.
Yeah, but it was gone in 24 hours.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It took longer to get rid of it in Saskatchewan, that's for sure, because I know they
I
were
was gonna
bitching
say,
about it for 3 or 4 days.
Took 4 or 5 days here.
And that
Well,
is going
we-
to be that's a chunk of your training camp, regardless of what it is. I mean, I'm harping on this. I know I seem to be the only one that's concerned about training camp. Everybody else is sloughing it off. God knows I'm never wrong. So, I mean, I'm always wrong. So we'll just leave it and let's see what happens. And you know what? It's not going to snow in Vancouver in the middle of April. So I got nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
Our
we got a
training
leg
camp
up.
is in Kamloops. It never rains in Kamloops. So I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter to the BC Lions. It doesn't matter to me. So if you guys are fine with it fucking up your training camp, I'm okay. Who am I to bitch? I'm just a fan of the CFL, and I think it should be fair to all teams, and it won't be.
How many of the teams have indoor facilities that they can play in?
Nobody.
None that I'm aware of.
Well, BC. They could move into BC Place, but their training camp is a couple 100 miles away.
Yeah.
In Kamloops.
It's in Kamloops. And it doesn't rain there, so it's not a problem.
I wish they moved it around a little bit more. It seems to be it's been in Kamloops for like a decade now.
Well, Wally did that. He signed a 10-year contract with Kamloops because of the stint in Abbotsford.
What about moving the training camp down here to the States to teams that would be potential good cities for expansion in the CFL?
I don't disagree with you, Michael. The downside to that is, and I'll tell you, is that half of the team are Canadians, and there's no guarantee they have passports.
True. Okay.
The Americans have to have passports to come to Canada to play football, so they've already been prepared for it. So it means that the Canadian football players would have to prepare for that. So I'm not saying no to it. I'm just saying that there's another layer of logistics that most people don't anticipate is moving an employee across into America.
Just like
I can only speak for the city that I live in, but if the BC Lions were to train here, there would be some excitement. The community would be excited.
Well,
especially if they would play a preseason game.
Why don't you bring it up with Chris Morris tomorrow?
I will next week.
Next week.
Next week.
God, you gave away my tease.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Nobody knows. Two things. Nobody knows what I'm talking about, and fuck, nobody listens to me. So we're just gonna move along from there. Did I introduce everybody? Everybody got introduced? Yes, they did. Okay, yes. So now we've got Michael Dennis did a show topics document here. Training camp starts tomorrow. Why would TSN hire Luke Wilson, to be a commentator on Friday Night Football? Well, it's not just Friday Night Football. It could be any day of football.
Yeah,
it's all football.
Yeah, he's doing the color commentary, so it will be him and like Dunnigan and somebody else and Dwayne Ford, right?
Well, here's my problem, and I've got a challenge with him. I think he's anti-CFL because he played in the National Football League. He's so pro Seahawks I think he's unbiased. I think he's biased against the league, and that's kind of why I don't like him as a commentator.
I'm cognizant. I understand that, but it also, I don't know if he actually dislikes the CFL. I think he's just willing to point out the shit that's the matter.
He's not a
And
guy that will basically skirt around the issues. He's not one that checks himself. If he sees a problem, he brings it up.
yeah, I have not had a problem with just about anything he has said because he's right. And I've always had this problem throughout time where the TSN people will not challenge the league on the stupidity that they are performing on behalf of the fans. And I think that you need to take the league they're reporters. Reporters are supposed to report. They're not supposed to create news. They're not supposed to do anything else. They're supposed to report what they see. And if you don't report what you see because you don't want repercussions from the league or from a specific team, then you are being biased as a reporter.
Well, I think that the commentary that he comes across is he puts an expectation that the players in the CFL should play at the same quote level or same style as the NFL. And I was offended a little bit when he would make some complaints about the CFL way of playing football. Some of the nuances of the game that CFL does, it just seemed to me he wasn't a big fan of the league. That was my point.
I understand your point. I just think he's holding the league accountable for the sort of thing. I personally believe that most of the CFL players could play at the same caliber or level as the NFL. They just haven't got the proper opportunity to do so. Okay. And we've been told that by many people, including Doug Flutie and Jeff Garcia and Warren Moon and Cam Wake. Cam Wake has come public many times that he cannot believe the quality of talent in the CFL compared to the NFL. So I have to, I'm not a football player. Okay. Not in this caliber. So I have to rely on what these people say. And they have experienced both leagues. So somebody who's only experienced one league and not the other one really can't make a judgment on the other league. So Luke Wilson does have some challenges because he's not played in the CFL. So he hasn't played against these people. So I do have a little bit of issue with him calling out our players. But in the same regard, is he wrong?
I think that to a certain degree that the caliber of players, the way that they play the game is every bit as good, if not better, than the NFL in some respects. I don't see a major drop off. I think our game is very entertaining and from a football standpoint is technically good. Will, what do you think?
It's a different game.
It's a football game, but it's a different football game. So I can't I don't like to say things like that because it's a different game.
It's hard to compare, really.
If we remember correctly, when there was that famous American football player that came to the CFL, what was his name?
Cinco Ocho.
Oh no,
Chad Johnson.
Tom Cousineau.
Oh,
okay. He was a middle linebacker. He could not deal with the motion in the CFL. Like, didn't know what he was doing, and that would screw up a lot of guys. The extra man would screw up a lot of guys. The wider field would screw up a lot of guys. Everything changes. Guys. Yeah, everything changes. Your angles change, all the coverages change, everything changes. So it's not fair to compare it. As far as Luke Wilson goes, I didn't like him in the beginning, but eventually I realized that he's kind of like me.
It's kind of like you. I was going to say that.
He says what is ever on his mind, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. And I like truth in people, okay? And as far as him being a color commentator, doesn't matter to me at all because I don't listen with the sound on. So, because I don't like any of them.
You have an opinion here?
I have to admit that I'm partial to Glenn Suter. I do like Glenn Suter.
suck.
Oh my
Can't stand
God!
him.
Shut up.
He's an
Absolutely
idiot.
can't stand him.
Oh my God, the most biased, one-sided. Ugh, the guy
I
loves to
kn-
hear himself talk.
I don't find him as biased.
Do you guys? Let's see if you guys can answer this question. What would Mike's favorite foursome be in a golf game? Anybody?
Len Suter, Cody Fajardo. Give me a third.
Come on.
Claire Hannah.
Claire
Thank you.
Oh,
Hannah.
yeah. Daryl Hannah. Not Daryl Hannah. Claire Hannah.
Oh, you know, I wouldn't need to. If we played a game of golf,
Stop, Mike.
I would not need Glenn Suter there.
Stop, Mike.
Stop.
It's the family show, Mike.
I'm sorry.
Not a family show.
Yes, it is.
I specifically say it's not when I'm posting it on YouTube. I say it's
know
not
that.
for kids.
Yeah, kids wouldn't watch it anyways. We're old guys.
Yeah.
I
Some
I
asshole
do
on here swears all the time.
I do like all of the color commentators in the CFL on TSN. I do find them pretty good.
No.
Okay, then.
Hey,
Okay.
Everybody has an opinion.
I
They
honestly
do,
don't
they do.
mind Dwayne Ford. I can take him over Suter in my mind.
Yeah, but he's always talking about food.
I do find that strange, but
You're not wrong. Talking about it, eating it.
Yeah.
well, he only does that when the game's out of control.
So who's in favor of this Luke Wilson coming on as commentator? Anybody?
I am.
Put up your hand if you're in favor of it.
Don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charles?
I don't
okay.
mind because
who's
like I said, I
opposed?
think he said the things sometimes that people don't.
Who's opposed there, Mike? Put up your hand. Okay. And who's abstaining? Will, put up your hand.
No, but you know what they did do for him last year? They did make him cut his hair a little bit and get rid of that stupid 90s porn mustache. Okay, like, come on, really?
And you know what? They may make him go further now that they're putting him on prime time all the time.
Yeah, but
you know-
isn't the only reason they're putting him on there is one, he's controversial, and two, they're hoping to get the ratings up. Is that it?
Well, I
Maybe.
in the history of the CFL, they don't do controversial. Okay,
He is
TSN does not do
controversial.
controversial. This is why I found this to be a very unusual process or development, is because they don't do this. They absolutely don't do this. So I'm kind of intrigued by it. I honestly thought they would have put him on a panel before they put him on color commentator, but
And I would have loved to seen him on the panel, actually. That would have been pretty good.
yeah.
He can't be
And
any
we may
worse
get
than
it,
Matt
yeah.
Dunnigan.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
I do. I think they could improve the panel.
I know Jim Barker was worse than Matt Dunnigan.
Yeah.
yep. No question. Okay. Let's
Jim
see
Barker
where we're
was
going.
worse than most.
Why has the CFL not announced their new contract with TSN? Will there be a streaming package for people in the United States? Okay. I just want you to know that if you want to stream CFL football games, send me a personal message and I will set you up with a streaming service to watch all CFL games because
Extremely
it's
easy.
possible. Ask Scott, ask Charles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I got Scott going and Charles had his for the last 3 years. So
More.
definitely it's doable and it's cheap.
From some of the rumors that I've been reading about, I've heard that they're talking about a streaming service for the package in the United States.
Well, I think it needs to go on Prime or Netflix or something like that. Whether they actually do it or not and have the balls to move forward into that world, I don't know. But it would be cool if they did. But
It'd
yeah,
be way more beneficial than being on CBS Sports Network.
Yeah.
anything,
So
anything,
here's the
anything would be
problem. Here's the
better.
problem with what we have, guys. We have TSN, which is a cable channel. It is not a broadcast channel. So if you have your basic cable, you do not get TSN. So you have to upgrade your basic cable package in which to watch TSN football. If you have Cablevision, okay. If you're streaming it, you have to buy TSN streaming package in Canada. I know it's not available in the US, and it's $30 a month. Okay. And you only get TSN for it. Okay. So a lot of people are saying, well, we want Sportsnet. Well, no, because Sportsnet is just another cable
Trust me, you
upgrade.
don't.
So what you're going to do is people are going to pay to have TSN for half the games, and then they have to pay Sportsnet for half the games, and it's not going to be half the price. It's going to be double the price.
Yeah.
So Sportsnet and TSN together is
lateral
not a
movement.
great option. I don't want to see that. If we turn around and we simulcast them on CTV, then I would understand them being more excited about it. But I don't see how we can bring another carrier into the CFL there's just not enough games. The cost of production is greater. And TSN, yes, TSN bites the bullet on the cost of production for all of these games. They need to be compensated if it's going to be streamed out to somebody else. Okay.
This is what we have in the United States. Each of the major leagues they have their own streaming service that's tied to their website. So I can watch a game that's already been played. I can watch the replay anytime I want.
Right.
And I wish the CFL would do the same thing, and I would pay for it. As an American, I would pay for it. And I think that there are a lot of sports junkies that would pay for the ability to go back and be able to watch prior games throughout the season.
That is available on our TSN streaming package. I can go back and watch any game for a week.
I'm talking week. I can go back right now on the NFL games. I can go back to week 1 or the exhibition season right now and watch any game I want.
And we're not going to compare the NFL to the CFL because they're different leagues. And
I know that.
They're a different monetary structure.
I totally agree, but
NFL can spend $1 billion on their streaming package and not bat an eye.
But I'm talking about trying to increase the revenue stream in this league, and
we know what you're doing.
It shouldn't be that expensive to do that. But this is a league that can't even come up with a league app.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir.
Despite multiple promises to do so.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I should sit down and write an app and do it for them. It really won't take that long.
Well, this is how frustrating it is for me. I can right now with the Portland Winterhawks of the WHL, I can buy their package through the WHL and watch the game when I want to. And I think the CFL should be able to do that.
And you fucking Americans are spoiled.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. So don't be expecting that from our football, because it's not going to happen up here. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. Did you guys see that Darvarius Daniels retired about half an hour ago?
No.
I did.
Yeah.
Good receiver. Who cares?
Yeah. So a lot of draft picks are being signed. A lot of teams have signed their entire draft class. No big deal. I couldn't care less. Ottawa signed O-lineman Sean McEwen. BC came up with a new O-lineman. Who was that, Charles?
Oh, that was the guy he used to play with
Joshua Coker.
Calgary Stampeders. Yes.
Joshua Coker.
Yes.
And
well, the most significant retirement is PJ Walker in Calgary. What's Calgary going to do
Mm.
without a backup?
Well, Dave says it's not important. He's got enough people that he does not to worry about it.
And they just signed Jacoby Griswold, which I'm watching highlights of right now on YouTube.
And the answer to that question is the same thing as a lot of other teams that don't also have backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
They're gonna suck.
Yeah.
Dave says he's happy with Josh Love. So
Is it because
You kinda
is it
have to say
because
that.
is it because of the money? The money for a backup quarterback is so low. Is that why he retired?
Probably doesn't
I
help.
think he's got an injury from last season that never really healed properly.
he had a big injury.
He had a big injury, and
He did.
we did not know if he was going to be ready for training camp, and I guess he made a decision to retire.
Yeah. And he didn't kind of grasp the game that well anyways, at least in his first year. But so
Personally, I think he got some bad advice to retire. He could have stayed and collected another paycheck for another year if he was still injured. But
well,
Mhm.
I didn't know he was injured. What happened to him?
can't remember.
Okay.
But he was
And-
out for the last 2 or 3 games of the year.
And
I think it
to
was
be
something to do
fair,
with his shoulder.
He
it was
got
a shoulder
whacked.
injury, I think. To be fair, when he did come in, he did not exactly impress.
No.
True.
Thanks for that reminder, Charles.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's good to have a guy that has that kind of
Tiny
experience.
little better
like-
than BC's backup last year, but
Oh, I
not much.
agree.
okay,
BC
he
doesn't
had
have
a
a
serious injury to his throwing shoulder.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
That's career ending.
I thought his shoulder. Well, actually, I thought he threw the ball pretty good. So, but whatever.
He had
I
an
mean-
arm on him, but
I mean,
The-
Oh, he did.
When you take a look at the Calgary team, and I know as an Edmonton person, I'm not supposed to like Calgary, but I do. I'm
Because you don't have the bias yet.
I don't have the bias yet. Yeah, you're right. But when I worry about Vernon Adams, he has a confidence problem when he's not playing with his confidence. The team struggles really bad. They
Mhm.
need to have a competent backup, or they're not going to
Okay.
be able to compete for the championship.
you know what? Let
It-
me
it-
explain something. Let me explain something to you, Mike. Saskatchewan fans in Calgary, we kind of tolerate them. Okay, they're okay. They're a bit of a pain in the ass, but you know what? They're okay. Edmonton fans can't stand them.
Mhm.
That's
I'll
the big
agree on that
difference.
one.
Okay, Edmonton stands can't stand them. So
I don't have a hatred for Calgary. I'm sorry, I don't.
well, yeah, but you should, Mike, because
that's because
Calgary-
Edmonton might not be your team for much longer because Fajardo will probably leave.
No,
well, you see, Mike,
First off, Mike, you don't
Edmonton's
live in
also-
Edmonton.
Edmonton's also a blue collar town, Mike.
Yeah.
You're not a blue collar guy.
no, I'm not.
You're a banker. Okay, you should be a Calgary fan, Mike. Just saying, man.
Fuck this. He's a West Coast guy. He should be a Lions fan.
Of course.
It's only people that are Lions fans are Lions fans.
The West Coast guy.
Whatever.
Well,
Nobody-
I have
nobody-
to, I have to,
nobody
I have
wants to be a
admit,
Saskatchewan fan.
last year I got in trouble because I did root for Calgary. I did root for Calgary in some scenarios. I like your team.
Um,
Yeah, well,
Okay.
he's not there anymore.
if
Oh,
you want
Man.
to, if
Who's
you
not
want to be
aware?
an
You'll learn,
Elks
buddy.
fan,
You'll learn.
you cannot, under any circumstances, cheer for Calgary, because you will be blacklisted by other Edmonton fans for doing that.
That's
You'll probably
fine.
get-
Period.
You'll probably get credible death threats, to be honest with you.
Well,
He's not kidding.
Well, I'm
It's
not.
very
I'm
serious.
not. I'm a diehard Edmonton fan, but I do like Calgary. And as an American, why would I hate Calgary?
Yeah. Edmonton and Calgary can't like each other. Saskatchewan and Winnipeg can't like each other.
Nope.
BC and Winnipeg don't like each other.
It's the same as Dallas and Washington, Mike. Come on.
All right. Okay. Well, I can't stand the Cowboys.
Yes, I know.
Right.
None of us can. None of us can. But we're okay because they're a crappy football
And I'm a
team.
Cowboys fan.
What?
America's team.
What?
No,
I've
you
always
haven't.
I've always been a Cowboys fan.
No,
I'm
you
sorry to hear
haven't.
last time you watched a Cowboys game, 1970.
Well, the last time I watched an NFL football game, Roger
Roger
Staubach was the
Staubach was
quarterback.
playing
Yeah,
quarterback.
1970.
Mhm. Well,
So
I
my
did.
black T-shirt wasn't working, so I went and got my jersey.
Well, there's only one team in the NFL that matters, and that's the Los Angeles Rams. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. We're not talking about the NFL. We need to talk about something else
No, we're not. Okay.
right now.
I got to get back over to my schedule here that Mikey made. Show topics.
Seahawks won the Super Bowl, just saying.
There we are.
And
Okay,
there's
key
Simon.
releases. Marco Dubois, a fullback and tight end for Ottawa. Release him. Who cares?
Who cares?
Winnipeg Blue Bombers added defensive lineman Jacoby Clinton. Retirements: PJ Walker, Mitch Picton, Devarius Daniels, whole pile of people. Here's one that I picked up on today. Was the CFL has donated $4.6 million to junior football, or no, amateur football in Canada. It's a little unusual. That's a
That's
fair
good,
chunk
though.
of
I'm
money.
glad
Just-
to see
That's
them
like
get money.
90. That's like 90% of somebody's salary cap.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a huge amount of money from a league that doesn't have any.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Well,
glad
that-
because they haven't always supported amateur football, so they should be. That's where you get fans from. That's where you get a new generation of players from.
Agreed with you, Charles. But that's not the history of this league.
No, it's not. Not at all.
So this is something that Stewie is doing outside of the parameters of what the league has done in the past, and you kind of have to applaud him for it. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been
$4.6
happy
million
if he-
dollars is a lot of money.
I'd be happy if you had spent $2 million on a website or an app. Come on.
That's
Yeah,
a
but
good
don't
point.
don't you think at the end of the day that there's more money being made in the CFL than what's being reported?
Of
course there
course.
is.
Of course there is. And why is
wasn't
that?
born
How do we know
yesterday.
that? We all know that. Why do all the other fans don't know this? Because in Canada, a privately held corporation, regardless of what it is, does not have to report their income.
Right.
Only publicly traded companies or publicly owned companies have to report their income, which is Saskatchewan and Winnipeg. Okay.
Mhm.
Everybody else in the league is a privately owned corporation. They're not publicly traded. They're not on the stock market. So they do not have to file annual reports publicly. They do have to file them with the league, and the league doesn't, there's no transparency with this league. It's ridiculous. So they don't tell us anything about it. All we know is that they made $10 million in profit last year, and that was Winnipeg alone. And how much did the league make otherwise, right? Because they raised the salary cap by $4 million
Yeah.
per team.
So
A league that's not making money ain't raising the salary cap like that.
It wasn't $4 million. What I'm talking about. That was not right.
No, 400,000 or something. wasn't it?
400,000 per
But
team.
still, a league that's not making money isn't raising their salary cap. If anything, they try to decrease it.
A league that isn't making money is going to invest $4.8 million in amateur football. And they should be doing that. They should be
I agree they should be doing it, but they should be doing a lot of things. And like Will said, or Charles said, they should be doing an app and a website, and they should be doing some marketing, and they should be doing a whole pile of things that the fans need and want, and they're not doing.
So the elephant in the room is why did they hire Stu Johnson? Why did they hire him?
Not if we know.
I mean, supposedly he knows television contracts, but is he going to be able to go in there and get a better contract than the previous CFL commissioner?
My question to you, Mike, is okay. My question to you is: was he hired by the CFL, or was he told to be hired by the CFL?
I don't know.
By TSN.
Did TSN say this is who your commissioner is going to be? So is he still an employee of TSN?
Well, it seems like every decision that he's made, he's tried to piss everybody off.
Well, he's not pissing off everybody because there's a lot of people who like what he does, and it's mostly at TSN. Okay. So
well, the results for me are going to come in when I see the television contract. I want to see a bigger contract out of TSN than they currently have right now.
Well, it's currently about $50 million. So I don't think it's going to go up to 75. I will be shocked if it does.
It may go up, but it might be nominal.
Yeah.
Going to go up maybe 5 million or something like that. We'll get a piss ass streaming service or something that's not really relevant. Nobody has, like Crave, and that's going to be the end of it.
Well, here's the thing. There's already a streaming option in the United States, CFL Plus. You can stream every single CFL game.
It is free, and you can watch it for 2 days.
Yeah.
Oh. What are you whining about?
I would not mind paying for it if I could have access to it longer than 2 days.
Go to YouTube. You can find any game on there pretty much 48 hours after it's over.
Yep.
I could find last year. I can find pretty much every single CFL game from the 2025 season on YouTube.
But
Mike,
I'm looking at
for free.
Just come to my house, Mike. I've got the last 3 years of CFL football on my PVR. Okay.
I'm just looking at it from ways in which this league could generate more revenue. I want to see a higher salary cap. I want to see better players in this league.
Well, there's different ways of doing that. And I don't think we have to increase the salary cap. We just have to pull one player out and call him a marquee player and cap his salary to $1 million.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That would be one step.
I personally think, as an American, that the CFL is the best kept secret in the world.
I know this.
And it blows me away that people, I think if the Americans really took an honest look at the CFL game, they'd fall in love with it. I really do.
Well, they're CFL, they're football fans. There's no question about that, Mike. And CFL is a more exciting game of football. So it would stand to reason that your comment is correct. That if the people in mass in America actually got to look and know this game, they would love it. Problem is that access to it is very limited. They don't promote it?
What does the league need to do to create an atmosphere throughout the league that we could have the same thing, like the atmosphere in Saskatchewan and Winnipeg? Those are two good cities. Their home atmospheres are awesome. Their communities support it. I'm surprised the other cities don't support it.
It's very frustrating to try to describe this to you. You're dealing with the two smallest cities in all of Canada. And the reason that they are supported is because it's 15 minutes walk to the stadium.
Okay.
Okay. It's not a 2-hour drive.
Mike, you can drive anywhere in Regina in 20 minutes.
I can't get off the same block in 20 minutes in Vancouver in rush hour.
Well, neither can I in Portland.
I can't make it from the state after a game. I can't make it from the stadium to the freeway in 20 minutes.
No.
I'm lucky to go 6 or 7 blocks at that point.
Football game ends in Calgary at 8 o'clock. I'm in my garage by 8:20. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The football game ends at 10 o'clock in Vancouver. I'm lucky if I'm home by midnight. That's a good night.
You cannot compare Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto to Winnipeg, Saskatchewan, Calgary, and Edmonton.
No.
And you also got to think about this, Mike. In Winnipeg and Saskatchewan, those are the Bombers, the Riders. They're like the big event there. You're not, and this is not a shot at Saskatchewan or Winnipeg, but
we have
you
nothing
do
here.
not have half of the entertainment options in those small cities that you do in places like Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, Calgary to an extent. It's a completely different thing. So
in Saskatchewan,
when
after the Riders, we have the WHL.
In Regina,
that's
the
it.
Saskatchewan Roughriders are the single most important thing in that city.
Right.
Okay. In Vancouver, we're not in the top 20. The BC Lions are not in the top 20 things to do in that town.
Well, granted,
And that's just a fact.
Well, granted, you do have the NHL Canucks, but what else is there besides the Canucks?
Well,
Everything.
And it's not just
and
sporting
it's not
events.
all it's not all sports.
It's entertainment. It's
I get
there's
it.
concerts, there's nightclubs, there's a lot of people like to go out and see baseball at Nat Bailey Stadium. There are beaches, there are harbor cruises, there's
the opera,
all sorts
the symphony,
of stuff.
Look,
I'm not gonna argue. Vancouver is a beautiful city. I've been there. It's a wonderful city. It's a great culture. It's so much better than Portland.
You get more people on the Stanley Park seawall than you will at a BC Lions game.
And all this, the Lions have come quite a ways from what they were 10, 15 years ago. I remember going in the late 90s when I was in my later years of high school. I remember going to BC Lions games when they were maybe lucky to get 8,000 fans. You were walking into BC Place was like walking into an abandoned warehouse some night. That's how empty it was.
But it's not like that now. You draw about 30,000.
That's what I mean. It's gotten better. But I mean, I don't think I'll ever see it like it was in the mid 80s when the Lions averaged over 40,000 a game. I don't know how, if the game comes back to that. And CJ has brought this up many times. The demographics of Vancouver and the Lower Mainland, completely different from what they were 30, 40 years ago. You got a lot of more international people here that come here from countries where they don't play football. That's why you've seen a rise in the popularity of the Whitecaps, who I might add are about to leave the city. But I mean, that's why you've seen a rise there and a decline in the CFL. Like I said, it's better than it was in the 90s, but I don't know if we're ever getting back to the level of the 80s.
If the Whitecaps leave Vancouver, that's a travesty, and that's on the MLS. Should never happen.
They're leaving.
That is a great
soccer
community.
They're going to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I just think I look at this league and I look at Vancouver. I think Calgary is a spot that the CFL should just thrive. Now, I do know hockey. I do get hockey is a religion in your country. That's great. But CFL football is the second best thing you have in that country. And it should be afforded.
That's your opinion.
Other people have different opinions.
I personally
But
think
I
it's the
understand.
number one thing in
I agree.
my city. I don't like hockey. Okay, I'm a Canadian that doesn't like hockey. So I love the CFL. I think CFL is number one. I am definitely in the minority.
Yeah.
I may be the only one that thinks that way.
No.
But I look at this season and I am totally excited about the opportunities of what's going to happen this year. I think that Vancouver, BC is going to be a terrific team. It's at least it's going to be a team that's they're going to have they're going to be on everybody's radar this year. Saskatchewan, great city. Love the way in which the community supports that team. Uh, I want to see a successful Saskatchewan team to compete against you guys in Vancouver.
We
Edmonton,
don't.
if my team Edmonton,
You could flush the riders down the toilet and it wouldn't hurt my feelings.
but Edmonton, if we could be just competitive, then I know each week I know I have a chance and I'm going to beat somebody. That's a win. 3 years ago, I was in doubt.
Last year, you should have been in doubt.
No, we had Cody.
Exactly. And who did you beat last year? You beat fucking Ottawa.
We beat Calgary.
Yeah, that game doesn't count. We told you it wasn't going to count before they played it.
There's
We
a
told you
lot
that
of
that
good,
game was going to go that way.
there are a lot of good storylines in the CFL, and there's a lot of things to be excited about. And that's what makes I think this league is the second best professional football league in the world, and it should be afforded that.
You know what, Mike? I guarantee you that if you polled 10 people in Calgary, 8 out of 10 would know when the NHL draft is this summer, and they would not have a clue when the CFL starts. I guarantee it.
It's not a sports country.
Yeah, that is really disappointing that me
And
as
once again, the reason I think hockey is so popular is it's simple. You can explain hockey to somebody in 2 minutes, and they can watch the game and know what's going on. Football is a whole different bunch of mashed potatoes. It's just crazy.
I know people have been watching football for decades and they still don't understand the fucking game.
There's a lot of people like that, CJ. Trust me.
There is.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that.
I already know the answer for Charles, but you know how many I have not been to a hockey game in 3 years. It's not my sport. I like football better than hockey. Now, I admit here in Portland, I love the Trailblazers, and it's Major League, and I go to a lot of NBA games. But if I had CFL football here, I'd be there every frickin' night.
But we batched this one around. I don't know if there's an answer. We do this on most shows, so let's move on a little bit. Let's go back to this new playoff format for a couple of minutes, just because I know Wills gets depressed. I put out a rant today, or actually a post on it, and who had the opportunity to read it?
I did.
And what were your thoughts on it?
I think you hit the nail on the head, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. The majority of people that I have found bitching, the number one thing I have heard people bitching about is saying, well, the regular season doesn't mean anything. Of course it does. It means even more now.
It means even more.
Honestly, the people that are saying that, I don't think fully understand this new format. In fact, I know they don't understand it because they wouldn't say that if they did.
Yeah. And then there's, well, the first place doesn't get a bye. Well, yes, they do get a bye, but they have to get past the first round. But now there's a benefit to the first place team and the second place team, because the second place team gets a second shot.
Yes.
The only problem that I really have with it is that it is the first two teams in the East and the first two teams in the West, and it should be the top four teams.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you mean by that?
The
So
top
it's the
four
first-
teams
Because
in the
if you
league.
go back to
No
the
East and no West.
2022 season,
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Western teams that had a higher point score, than the entire Eastern Division. Everybody in the East. Okay. So there was Calgary Stampeders finished 12 and 6, 12 and 6, and they did not get a home playoff game. The Toronto Argonauts finished 11 and 7 and got a home playoff game and a bye.
Well, that's
Okay?
because they
The
were in the
divisions
East.
don't work
That's
With
because
this
because
they're
they
in
were
the
in the
East.
East.
With this new format, though, it
Ah.
might end up going that way because that's the theoretical lower seed teams that are going to be going in. They go by a record and not by division, so
Right.
they may end up going that route.
Yeah,
if
because
if we
after the
do this,
play-in, they
if we
reseed
do
it.
this for a year or 2 or 3, and then there is a glaringly obvious problem with it, I hope they will reconcile that
Mm-hmm.
and just say, okay, you know what? The top 4 teams have to be the top 4 teams.
And the other thing I
Oh.
find really funny with the whole going back to the whole Luke Wilson thing, he's absolutely 100% good with the original rule changes, goalposts, everything like that. But he thinks that this new playoff format is the stupidest thing he's ever seen. And that weirded me out.
I
I don't know. Is he,
One thing
is he
I-
just being controversial?
who knows?
Could be.
Yeah.
I went
One
after him on
thing-
Twitter.
Of course, yeah. One thing I think people, are kind of making a mistake here, because they're saying, "Oh, well, they're changing." Well, they're still doing the format where you get when one team gets a bye, and then you have the semifinal and the final. Basically, what the CFL has done is they've added a playoff round. So consider it a preliminary round. So
It's like a wild card.
basically, it's like a wild card. Much like I pointed out that Major League Baseball.
I don't want to
does
use
a
the word
similar
wild
thing.
card.
Why? Because it's essentially what it is.
Yeah.
Well, no, a wild card game. If they were a wild card game, then you wouldn't have the top 2 teams playing each other.
No, I don't consider that the wild card. That's a showdown. I'm talking about the lower guys, the guys lower in the
no, I
standings.
understand. That's why we can't call it a preliminary wild card round, because it's not. Because you're actually
Well, okay.
you're playing to find out who gets the bye,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the cool thing is that you can lose that game and still you're not eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the other point that CJ mentioned in that rant he kind of went on was right now everyone's bitching and complaining that only one team doesn't make the playoffs. When we had 8 teams in the division, only 2 teams didn't make the playoffs. So what's an extra team's difference?
So it's an extra team.
What's the difference? You know,
Back in the 80s and 90s, 16 out of 21 NHL teams made the playoffs. So it's not all that different.
no, it's not. It's not. So I really don't have a problem with that. I do find it really childish of people who saying that the regular season is now irrelevant, because it's not. It's
No,
even more relevant,
It's not.
and it's going to be relevant to the very last week, because everybody is vying for a home playoff game, and they where they're going to play. Are they going to play a tough team? Are they going to play a weaker team? Or who are they going to
Right.
play? So I totally disagree with the concept that makes the regular season irrelevant. It makes it far more relevant.
Because after the play-in, the teams under the first place teams, the teams that don't get a bye, are all reseeded. So if you've had a lousy regular season, you're still going on the road.
Yeah.
And it's becoming tough. It's still tougher. It's always tougher to play on the road.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
the other part of it too.
William, hang on. William's been too quiet here. I want to hear what he's saying here. He's either got bored and he doesn't give a shit, or he's got something to say, but he hasn't put his hand up. So I want to hear what he says, because he's got this shit-eating grin on his face.
I'm kind of bored about talking about things that, it's okay, but it's not football. Anyways, I have no problem with the new playoff format. Bottom line, I think the teams are going to make more money. The players are going to make more money. And that's why they did it. And that's why nobody's complaining except for the fans.
And we get to watch more games. So why are the fans complaining?
Because we're going to have to pay for another home playoff game. Maybe.
That's fine. I don't care. You don't have.
I'd love to see my
no
team
one
at
has
home.
to pay for anything. You don't want to pay it. You don't have to pay it. There's nothing forcing you to pay anything.
I know, but I'm just saying, man.
Yeah.
I personally think it's kind of silly to say anything about these things because they're going to do them anyways, regardless of what we think
and
or
honestly,
what we say.
My belief, I've seen all these people say, "Oh, well, you know what? I'm done with the CFL. I'm not watching anymore." 90% of that is all talk and bluster. When the games start, people are going to watch.
Well, and you know what? If you don't want to watch CFL, don't watch it. It's that simple.
Go watch the UFL. Enjoy.
If you don't watch the CFL, you're not punishing anybody but yourself.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it.
At the end of the day, we're getting 5 extra games as a result of this change.
4.
Yep.
4. I like it.
4.
I'm getting to like this new format. I can see why they're doing it. Obviously, they're going to make more money, but the one thing that people like is each of the cities will have hope that their team can compete, and that is something it's worth it.
If a team finishes the season with 3 wins and they make it into the playoffs, the odds of them being successful are nil.
Yep.
Okay? But if they do go on a tear and they win,
good for them.
Good for them. Hell yeah, because they figured out what was the problem. They rectified it. They made adjustments, and they've moved forward. And that's exactly what happened with the BC Lions in 2011, or in 2020, or sorry, 2000.
Or as what what you've tried to preach with me is that after Labor Day, the world changes. And so one of those teams, because of Labor Day, could become a winning team.
Well, look at Winnipeg in 2024. They were 2-6, went on a tear for the rest of the season and won the division.
You know what?
And we've seen sub 500 teams win the Grey Cup before. The Lions in 2000, the Stamps in 2001, the 2016 Ottawa Red Blacks.
Don't forget. All you got to do in any sport, doesn't have to be football, can be any sport. All you got to do is make the playoffs.
Right.
And you can win it all.
It's a completely different ball game then.
Doesn't matter what your record is.
It does not matter what your record is, but it does make a difference if you're playing on the road for the rest of the season.
Sure it does.
Yeah.
Right? And if you can win 3 or 4 games on the road at the end of the season, then you're a better team and you deserve to win.
Yeah. But in 2019, did Winnipeg not win all their playoff games on the road?
I believe they did.
No,
I think they did.
Saskatchewan was in first place and Winnipeg was in second.
Oh, okay.
I thought Winnipeg was in third.
I thought they were too.
I thought was in third.
I think 2019. I think Edmonton was in second.
I mean, they're not the first team to have done that.
No, if I'm not mistaken, they beat Calgary in the semifinal, and then they beat.
No, they didn't. Calgary didn't make it in 2019. I know this for a fact.
Might have been Edmonton then.
Could have been Edmonton. Yes, Mike, Edmonton did make the playoffs once. Christopher is looking it up to prove us all wrong. So
I'm not going to prove you wrong. I'm going to find out because I'm curious. And you're correct. It was Saskatchewan, Calgary, Winnipeg.
Oh, okay. I wasn't correct then. I thought Calgary didn't make it.
But Winnipeg was still in 11 and 17.
Yeah.
If Edmonton doesn't make the playoffs this year, I'm gonna retire from ever watching football.
But then let's face it, in 2019, who expected Winnipeg to beat Hamilton in the Grey Cup? Nobody.
No one.
There's a high chance now that Edmonton does make the playoffs.
No, not this year, next year.
Maybe next year.
I mean, yeah, no, not this year. Sorry, in the new playoff format.
Well, it depends
I
on
can still see there being a
Cody gets
crossover.
hurt. If Cody gets hurt in the first 5 games, then they will make the playoffs.
Yeah,
Cody, in
or if he gets
2020,
beat out in training camp.
in 2027, Powell is going to be the quarterback of the Elks, not Cody.
No, because Cody will get traded somewhere.
Nobody's going to trade for him. What a bag of hammer handles.
Well, if the
Michael.
backup quarterback situation does get much better,
He could go the Kevin Glenn route for quite a few years. You know that, eh?
If I ever got the opportunity to talk with Chris Morris, if I ever, anytime in the future, get to talk to Chris Morris, you know what the one question I would ask him? What the fuck were you thinking signing Cody Fajardo? Like, what the fuck were you thinking?
Well, he was better than Trey Ford.
God.
Well, I'm sure you're going to ask that question next week.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Anyhow, what else do you guys want to talk about? Or is that going to be the end of this?
Yeah, because next week we'll do our predictions.
Yeah, that's really next week is we're going to have more to get into.
Well, you don't get that much out of training camp, so you get cool things. You get some cuts, but I mean, training camp starts Sunday, and we're going to do a show on Tuesday. There's not a lot going to happen between those 2 days.
Maybe some
unless
major
somebody
injuries.
gets hurt.
Maybe some major injuries. That's about it.
Yeah. So next week we'll do some predictions and we'll talk about a whole pile of things. And I'm just not up for that tonight.
No.
We won't even be to the first cuts next week. Not even close.
No.
When did the cuts happen? When did the cuts happen?
Rookie camp.
Did the cuts happen after the first?
Usually there's a round after the first preseason game and then another round, more final round after the second one.
Yeah. Well, they do rookie cuts earlier than that, but
we don't know the rookies, so they don't mean anything to us.
Well, the thing I'm going to be looking at is how many rookies get cut at the end when the rosters are finally settled. How many from the draft actually made a roster? Because that's going to prove that's going to prove to me that whether the draft is worth even having.
Edmonton stands.
It's worth having because the players have to go somewhere, and we do need them to progress. So most of the draft players are going to either make the special teams or they're going to make the practice roster because they need more development, and they have to keep them around. And how many are going to be starters? 0.
Well, the impression I got is that on the Edmonton side that their draft picks are going to be in NFL football camps and not the CFL camps.
No, then they drafted poorly,
and that was kind of depressing.
You realize by every NFL team needs blocking dummies, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They do.
And the blocking dummies in the NFL make more money than the CFL players do. So
this isn't wrong.
Yeah, but it's my ultimate goal is I would love to see the Canadian players get paid what they're worth. They're worth more than that.
Hold it, Michael.
Yeah.
The Canadian players are the highest paid players in the CFL.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
You
get paid more to be a Canadian.
You get, as a Canadian, you get paid more in the CFL than you do as an American.
Yep.
Well, that's because, isn't that because of the taxes?
No, it's not. It's because there's so few of them, and everybody needs them. That the demand is higher because you need starting Canadians, and they're rare. So if there's 7 per team, There's 9 teams, okay? That means there's 63 Canadian starters that are needed, and there are only 45. So if you have a ratio-breaking Canadian player like Brady Oliver, like Nathan Rourke, like
Or
whoever
Sam
out there,
or Sam Hurl.
not Sam Hurl,
Mm.
you're going to pay them more to play on your team than what you would play a comparable American.
Yes. He is right.
Okay. So back a few years ago, the BC Lions
Lamar
had,
Durant.
no, yeah, but who did they have playing for them?
At that
Dominic
time, they
Rhymes,
had
Lucky
Dominic Rhymes,
Whitehead, and
Lucky
Brian Burnham.
Whitehead, and Brian Burnham. Yep.
Brian Burnham, 3 of the top receivers in the CFL, and Lamar Durant was the highest paid receiver on there, and he didn't even play the whole season because he was so bad. Because he was a starting Canadian.
Brian Burnham was
And we're
amazing.
forced to start 7 of them.
Now, is that 7 between the offense and defense?
Yes.
Okay.
And most teams don't have starting Canadians on the defense, or very few. BC Lions, I think, have 2. So we have to have 5 on offense.
God, they got to get rid of that ratio rule.
So what you said is you want the Canadian players to be paid what they're worth. They're overpaid for what they're worth.
I guess the correct answer or question, the correct statement would be, I would like the players to be paid, regardless of whether American or Canadian, get paid what they're worth.
But they are being paid what they're worth because that's what this market will allow.
Yep.
So supply and demand. The demand for the product is not that high in Canada, so there is not a large revenue stream for it. Fact of the matter.
Yeah.
Can't raise a salary cap unless you put butts in the seat.
You're
Or you
right.
get a better broadcast contract, or you get a streaming contract, or you get a gaming contract, or you get a grant from the federal government of the $755 million the Liberal government has just said that they're going to give to Canadian sports. How much of that's coming to the CFL?
Hopefully none.
Probably none.
I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't bet money on it.
I
Maybe that's
just,
$750 million
amateur
is
sports.
going to go build a stadium in Halifax. I don't know.
well, I'm against publicly financed stadiums, but that's just me.
Every stadium in Canada is publicly built. Every
Yeah.
stadium.
Yeah.
Every stadium, because the teams can't afford it.
Well, you take a look at Calgary. I think it's unfair that McMahon Stadium hasn't been upgraded, and you build that monstrosity for the hockey team.
Well, at the Edmonton Stadium's not a hell of a lot better.
True.
No.
Well, but what happens, Mike, is when you build these things for hockey, you also attract other things, other events. So,
Concerts.
and which once again also is competition for the CFL was when they build these big hockey stadiums and they get other entertainment in the summer. And people budget their entertainment money to certain things. So
why does BC have $1 billion stadium?
I don't know.
Because we had Expo 86, we had the Winter Olympics in 2010, and we have FIFA in 2026.
Yeah.
Okay. We are a city that hosts world events, and that's why we have a world-class stadium. It's not because of the Vancouver Whitecaps and the BC Lions, I'll tell you that.
It's not.
Hell, the
No,
only reason the only reason Vancouver got Empire Stadium, the original home of the Lions, is because they were hosting the British Empire games. It wasn't
Empire
built for the BC Lions.
No. And the same thing with Hamilton's new stadium, Tim Box. It was because of what? The Pan American Games.
Yep. Commonwealth Stadium, Commonwealth
Okay.
Games. You see,
Well,
Olympic
Montreal,
Stadium in
the big
Montreal,
O for the
Olympics.
Olympics of
Yep.
'76.
Well,
Okay.
I know that we're a Canadian Football League show, but I don't understand why Vancouver cannot keep the Whitecaps. I don't get it.
They're
You draw.
$400 million in debt, and the owner doesn't want to put another dime in. And nobody's willing to buy them in this city. Okay.
Don't they draw? Don't they
Do
draw
you
30,000?
need any more reason? You're a banker. Do you understand economics?
Of course they do.
Well, then tell me why, how they can't keep the Vancouver Whitecaps here. They're $400 million in debt.
Why did they go 400 million in debt?
Well, because they have a bigger salary cap than the CFL does, and their payroll is about $18 million a year, and their income is less than the CFL's.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wow, I didn't know that.
okay. So you have to pay your players, your big name players, big money, or they don't play in this town or in any town.
And and also playing in MLS, I think it's U.S. dollars, all U.S. dollars.
It's all U.S. dollars, and the gate is in Canadian funds, and the Canadian dollar sucks right now.
Okay.
Okay,
I get it.
Vancouver cannot keep the Whitecaps, and to even think that they're going to get an MLB team or an NBA team is a joke, an absolute joke.
Well, I want that MLB team to be in Portland, but that's just me.
Well, Montreal and Vancouver are up in the top list of getting an MLB team. I honestly don't know where you're going to put it in Vancouver.
Me neither.
They'd have to fuck up the interior of BC Place something fierce, and I don't think they can do it.
Nope.
It was originally designed for baseball, but then it's been renovated since then. So,
Well, next week, how about you taking over the list of what we talk about? Then we can get more participation from you.
You know, Michael, I will give you an E for effort, sir. But that's all I'm saying, buddy. And there's just not that much to talk about right now.
there's not that much to talk about right now,
It's
and that's
true.
why
It's true.
we're dragging the show on. We should sign off and go home.
You're probably right.
I'm trying.
No, absolutely you are. No complaint about
Doing a
that,
good
Mike.
job.
And
You get
Michael,
like,
we appreciate it.
thank
Okay,
you
it's
for
just
your
this is the
effort.
time of the year
And
where
Mike-
there's nothing to talk about.
Mike,
Thank you for
from
your
someone,
effort.
Mike, from someone who used to do the agenda for many, many years, I understand completely. Trust me.
Charles, like, you're doing amazing, buddy.
Okay, so this has been a Let's Talk CFL podcast episode number, 647. I've been your host, Christopher Jones, and I'm going to sign off, and training camp starts tomorrow. Rookie camp starts tomorrow. We are now in the football season, so we're going to go around the board here. Charles, say goodnight.
Good night, folks. Thanks for listening. Training camp will be underway next time we talk to you. So we're getting to the exciting time where there will be lots of stuff to talk about. So we're getting there. It's coming quickly. We'll talk to you next week.
Not now. Michael Dennis.
Well, I'm really excited about next week. We do have Chris Morris, the president of the Edmonton Elks, is going to be on our show. So I'm going to be pumped next week. Have a great week.
Well, and I get to ask him, what the fuck was he thinking? What the fuck were you thinking? Okay, Scott
That'll be worth the
Morledge.
show alone.
100%.
Everyone have a good night. Training camp again, like everyone said, starts tomorrow. So we're going to have some exciting things to talk about. Looking forward to seeing Chris Morris on the show next week.
William.
You know, Mike, just so you know, the best thing that's happened in Alberta in the last week is the Oilers got knocked out of the playoffs and we all celebrated, okay? And
Okay.
that's the rivalry once again. And may you know who didn't win the Stanley Cup for another year.
I think it doesn't really matter what town you're in. You're kind of happy that the Oilers got the punt out of there.
I was
And
thrilled.
I was pretty
but
happy.
the only Canadian team right now is Montreal, and that's kind of sad in itself. I cannot cheer for the Canadians no matter what. Not as
They
a
won't
Boston
last
Bruins
long.
fan. I have my Boston Bruins jersey in the closet here. I could go put it on too if I wanted to. Okay, that's it. I'm shutting this one down, guys.
Okay.
Stop recording.